the disturbing truth about Chrisean Rock. Let's get to it. Shout out my boy Omeezy for the vid. Let's get it.
This is for the seriously unemployed at this point. Chrisean Rock has spent the last year telling everybody she has changed. She put down the drinking, she put down the abusive lifestyle that she was living, found God, she's picked up motherhood, and she will no longer be the Chrisean Rock that got her famous.
So we're gonna do Bible studies, chat. I locked in, I consecrated, I fast, I prayed, I did it a lot.
And for what it's worth, over here at the Unemployed News Network, we applaud change, right? We hate when we go into our favorite restaurant or favorite store and they have a sign that says, hey, we have no more pennies. We like change, but the problem is that she never really took accountability for the things that she did and the actions that she had that would probably lead to her down this path of destruction in the first place. We're talking about the fights, we're talking about the arrests, we're talking about the way she behaved while she was pregnant. And because you never really take full accountability and address those demons that have been chasing you, ultimately, after time has gone on, those things will come back to haunt you quick, fast, and in a hurry. Chrisean is now back on the internet having these public crash outs and is fighting in the streets.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Come on now. Hold on. Oh, hold on. Oh, get right. Oh. Oh, these are. Oh, these real punches. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's the corridor. Ooh, there's a real fighting. I know exactly what's going on here. So maybe Chrisean didn't become a different person. Maybe she just gave the same person a new image. If you're new to this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's gonna go a long, long way for the channel. We're already at 185. My birthday was yesterday. Let's give me a birthday gift by hitting subscribe so we can get to 200K. Don't make me have to Chrisean Rock you. Now, back into the video. Chrisean Rock is notorious, for lack of a better word, on the internet. All the public crash outs, the relationship with Blueface that was toxic, the whole thing with the pregnancy, all of that stuff. But it seems as though the internet commentary was getting to her. Maybe she was growing up, her life actions, she wanted to change them. But since the last time we covered her, she has seemingly turned her life to God. She's put down the drinking, she's put down the fighting, she's put down the smoking, she's put down all these things that were toxic in her life and is putting a new image of a new person in front of our eyes. And for what it's worth, at first, I was happy about it.
I'm gonna start streaming from my bedroom. So we're gonna do Bible studies, chat. I locked in, I consecrated, I fast, I prayed, I did it a lot.
And this transformation is admirable. Oftentimes on the internet, we don't give people place and space to grow and change. We kind of hold them to a standard that they once were when they were younger or in a messed up place in their life or whatever the case may be. But to me, as long as you are showing like these efforts to change who you are, then I think that people should acknowledge that and give you a round of applause. Because we've got to remember this transformation came from years, and I do mean years, of the drinking, the behavior that was happening in the past, the fighting, the cussing, just the belligerentness. I mean, she was Zeus Network, but unscripted, and it was all on our timelines. I think the worst of it all was how she was acting during and after her pregnancy with Chrisean Rock Jr.
Chrisean Rock is a horrible fucking mother, because at the end of the day, you're sitting here talking about your son doesn't have a disability and that you don't claim that in Jesus' name. Bitch, Jesus gave you the fucking doctors to tell you that your son has disabilities. God will send people in your life to tell you certain things that you don't want to hear, but it's the form of the truth. Several family members have told you, several friends have told you that your son has disabilities. It is okay to pray over your children. It is okay to cover your children in prayer. But what is not okay is to be a dumb dick-sucking bitch and forced to not believe that when you was drinking, smoking, popping pills your whole fucking pregnancy because you didn't know who the father was going to be. This girl is literally a fucking walking CPS case and nobody sees it. And it's literally so aggravating because that poor baby deserves better.
Now, I will say for the most part, while she was going through this transformation, the timeline was very proud and happy of what she was doing. But for me, there was a little bit of pause. I remember just a few months ago when she went on another podcast talking about her transformation, talking about the things that she had learned and changed. But specifically when it came to this section where she was talking about her baby and how the online community community is talking about whether or not the baby has mental illness, her answer to me was extremely toxic or shaky as far as what is she doing about the baby's diagnosis.
Blueface doesn't seem active in a child's life because of his disability. My son does not have a disability. He is developing at his own pace and hitting his milestones in his own timing. Every child is different, and I'm confident in his growth. If I said it, he had a disability, then he... Bro, but it's like, don't tell me. I ain't saying, not even just that. It's like, say if someone, a doctor, anybody speak against your kid or yourself, then you should not accept it, bro. Yeah. Anybody, if they're guessing or whatever, no, the word said what the word said. God said what the God says.
Yeah, I was really skeptical from there. Back then, I was skeptical about her use of religion. I'm not saying that she isn't somebody who is starting to read the Bible, go to church, claim these things, etc., etc. And while finding God can give us a new image of who Chrisean is, it doesn't necessarily mean that we have a different Chrisean as a whole. It's just the same thing with different packaging. It's not that she changed because of need. She really changed because of all the internet scrutiny surrounding the commentary around all of her actions and transgressions that were going on the internet. But once you start to look at what she was changing from, I feel like the fights and the arguments and crash outs online are the least bit of concern when it comes to her. Chrisean's history is filled with extreme behavior. In 2022, she was arrested for taking a stolen G-Wagon, and also while in that stolen G-Wagon, she allegedly broke into a home and write "I love blue" in reference to Blueface in blood. Now, I feel like I could make a whole video series and saga about her toxic relationship with her and her ex-boyfriend, current baby daddy, Blueface. But to be honest with you, that's not the worst of it. Parents, two consenting adults, you know, they have their own relationships. I don't necessarily agree with them, but at the end of the day, it's all consensual. The worst part about Chrisean Rock in her past is how she dealt with her soon-to-be newborn son, Chrisean Rock Jr., while she was pregnant.
Because we all was drinking, even you, with the baby and stuff. Why are you lying?
She said, why are you lying? We got it in 4K. This is in 4K. You sipping on alcohol. You in the club. One more time. Smoking in 4K. Come on, bro.
Get yourself together.
Where the bottle at? Oh my gosh.
Drink it.
She asked for another bottle. I'm just
You can't no liquor?
Yes, I can. I can abort the child tomorrow. It won't hurt me.
No,
You shut the door because it's cold.
No fucking liquor.
Tomorrow. Yo.
When they were here last time, him and Chrisean was pregnant. Y'all were doing all that smoking and drinking here in the thing.
This is Chrisean Rock smoking and drinking and clubbing and doing all these wild things while she was pregnant. This will produce that same baby who earlier in the video she denied had any sorts of disabilities. Even though she was told by multiple doctors, social media is screaming at her about what's going on here, she remained in denial, saying that it was actually up to God. She took no accountability for the situation, saying that, hey, I'm gonna continue to drink because at the end of the day, I'm gonna get rid of it, only to keep the baby at the end of it all. And that's horrifying and disgusting. And so let's say we are in our forgiving era of it all. Let's say that, hey, you made these dumb decisions, you seem to have some sort of addiction problem, and then you found religion, and so you were able to deny the disability of it all. Even though I don't agree with any of that, let's just say we're following you down this rabbit hole. Even to this day, she is still avoiding any sorts of accountability in these actions. I guess she had finally come to the revelation that there is something wrong with the baby, that this baby does have some sort of disabilities. That's fine, that's dandy. There's actually nothing wrong with any sort of child having disabilities. What is wrong is a mother who continuously denies their actions in this, especially one that is trying to portray a new image about themselves to the public.
Wearing that black dress, y'all keep saying I was drinking in the club when I was pregnant. That was juice.
Really? It was just juice? I mean, she's literally denying things that we have on record, on video, on podcasts, on audio, on all of these different things, with multiple people testifying to the fact that she actually was drinking while she was pregnant. And this is why I and many others are starting to wake up the questioning about this newfound image that she has going around on the internet. Instead of saying that she made some sort of horrible decision and all she can do is learn to live with her actions and move forward with a baby that she can love and all these other things like that, she's still denying any sort of accountability for what she did. She does that by rewriting history about a situation that we saw in 1080p.
She couldn't stop herself from smoking and drinking while pregnant. She did have the child, and this September he will be 3 years old. He still cannot walk or talk, and it seems like also has a hard time just sitting up on his own without assistance supporting him. It is heartbreaking. It is actually heartbreaking. And I don't know why what she's done isn't just full-blown child abuse. Like, I don't know how that's not just a crime. Like, it's all just right out there in the open. Like, it's not a secret.
As if her actions weren't already bad, she then decides to refuse to take any sort of accountability. So I'm supposed to believe that you've changed in all of this? And then there's this murder case that's been looming over her head for a minute. For the longest time, the internet was under the impression that Blueface, famous rapper, was the baby daddy or is the baby daddy of Chrisean Rock Jr. But it turns out that that may not be the case at all. There was this boyfriend that she was dealing with around the time that she got pregnant, and she was dealing back and forth between Blueface and this guy. And right before he was supposed to take some court-ordered DNA test, he ends up dead. But the problem is that there's been some speculation that she has been involved with said ending of this man's life, even to the tune of the police coming up and questioning her about her involvement, her thoughts, her opinions and feelings. She took this meeting without some sort of a lawyer present, and during this time, she would give what would be motivation for why she would end this man's life.
He is dead, bro. Y'all never asked me not one time how did I feel about it? Did it hurt me? Did it move me? At that point, I already stopped loving him. Not like that. When he died, I had no feelings in my body because it was like that person was trying to kill me before he left. He really was. He was trying to diminish my character, my image. He was trying to clout chase off of my son that I love the most. Like, people be doing stuff and don't know what be actually the after effect. What?
Now, for what it's worth, the police haven't named her to be some sort of suspect in this situation, but the internet is speculating about it, and there's a good amount of motive for her to do this exact thing, because ultimately he's bashing her name, and if the baby's not Blueface's, then that cuts off a whole section of her life that would continue to further the madness that ultimately does get her funded and paid very well. At some point, this stops looking like a bunch of random mistakes, and ultimately it looks like this pattern of behavior that's too hard to not like talk about and just brush it up against the wall and leave it for somebody else to sweep up. We can't do that anymore. Now, you're probably asking yourself, Omar, it's almost like you're framing it as if she hasn't changed at all from her past behaviors, and that's kind of what I'm doing. For what it's worth, Chrisean is not like a great person in this world. Granted, we can forgive a lot of things, but if you're not going to hold yourself accountable or even continuously deny these actions, then ultimately, hey man, we got to start calling the pot black, the kettle black. Got to start calling a spade a spade. Chrisean Rock has figured out the ultimate blueprint in this content creation game. She has figured out that you can be horrible and you can get paid for being horrible. The algorithm rewards the horribleness of it all.
You know how much money he just made? He made 100K. I made like 60, but that was just from 2 days of hanging out with him. And I feel you, bro. Like, you know, like, okay, yeah, tighten up, da-da-da. Bro, I'm really just it's just business. It's just business. You feel me? I ain't even tripping.
The worse she behaves, the more attention she gets. The more attention she gets, the more content that can be put out there. The more content that's put out there, the more dollar signs she sees. Every fight becomes something that's a spectacle. It gets clipped, it gets circulated. And we know how the content creation economy goes. So the reality is, what incentive does she have to change? At the end of the day, she's still going to benefit financially from being the same exact person. Hell, I'd even argue that the change doesn't bring the dollars and cents. It doesn't even bring the commentary videos or the reactions from people. She's getting the rewards of being a bad mother in real time because social media dictates that that's what it's supposed to happen. After years of doing this, Chrisean knows that being a disaster is profitable, and that's what makes this whole rebrand that she has going on very much so unbelievable. While she's saying that she's changing every other stream, she keeps doing the behavior that is having people call her the bad mother or a crash out or a nuisance or all these other things, because ultimately she's getting the dollars for it. And so maybe this is just simply who Chrisean is, and the dollars are coming in and they're rewarding her for being her. For what it's worth, Chrisean can find God, she can stop drinking, she can get baptized, she can tell everybody that she's changed until she's blue in the face, but that doesn't matter if the behavior ultimately stays the same, especially when she's refusing to acknowledge the things that she's did in real time. I don't know how she can sit there and lie to us and say that it's juice when there's video evidence of her drinking straight from a Don Julio bottle. And that's really the problem with Chrisean Rock, is that every time she's introduced this new version of herself, the behaviors dictate that she is the same old, same old. So maybe she genuinely does want to change, but the actions aren't lining up with those things. Hell, it's why you got right back with Blueface trying to play the whole parenthood, mother gimmick of it all. Hey, I'm getting the family back together. But later on that same night, you were in the streets throwing bows with his baby mama. I don't know. At this point, it's not a phase. It's literally just who you are.